Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Apt Pupil from Stephen King's Different Seasons. And this is his collection of short stories, novellas specifically, and this Apt Pupil story tells the story of a young man who is like 14, he's a bit of a psychopath, crazy kid, has all these horrible dreams, and he winds up hunting down a former Nazi that he knows of, and starts kind of learning from him, wanting to know about all the horrible things that he used to do as a Nazi, and things get really crazy and violent and uncomfortable in this story. And it's like you have stories like Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption, which I just finished before this, and like I'm about to read The Body, that has a different kind of vibe for Stephen King. This Apt Pupil is like the effed up, like really screwed up, disturbing kind of Stephen King story. And it starts from the beginning. Like, this kid is creepy and messed up, and you just know from the start that this kid's up to no good. We don't like this kid. And that's where this story really leans into its what's working for it is that shock. It leans into all kinds of things. There's violence, there's sexuality, there's all kinds of things that like casual audience would find taboo and really come at you with it. And the fact that he's leaning into Nazis, one of the easiest, most digestible villains you could possibly find in any form of pop culture, because who doesn't hate a Nazi? Unless you're a Nazi. And they're still Nazis. Or you're an Illinois Nazi. Ugh. Anyway. But you have that kind of thing going on in this story where it's like you have this darker, aspects pulling on, from the Holocaust into this story about this really messed up kid. And it's really leaning into those kinds of things. And it's easy low-hanging fruit to lean into those kinds of things to get some heat on your characters and stuff like that. But it works here, and Stephen King knows how to really tell a story. His storytelling is fantastic, and specifically he knows how to weave in what generally might be a bit taboo kinds of things in terms of violence and sex, and make it that much more uncomfortable and keep turning it. And he does that throughout this whole entire story. And from start to finish, this is unnerving and creepy and just intense and messed up. And if you're into that kind of Stephen King or just those kinds of stories in general, no, this one will whet your appetite. If you're more of a Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption kind of type, where you feel because there's a wonder and magic. Stephen King has a bit of Steven Spielberg in him. Except, a lot more messed up in most of his stories. But there's still that heart and soul to it. This goes full-blown just disturbing. And it's quite the experience to read. But those are my thoughts on Apt Pupil. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some books. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.